Go get a bucket of Fireball.
A bucket. God. I can hear you coming down the stairs. It's so funny.
Ow!
And that's our opener.
Is it smart to rebrand after only 4 weeks? The Ask Casters podcast is now with special guests, the Casters podcast. We have added a letter to our acronym. C for Carlos, A for Andy, and 2 S's, Scrode and Schwammy. We're going to carry you through probably another hour and a half of content. We didn't think that we had a lot to talk about last time, and oh my goodness, we got into hockey like crazy, got into NBA like crazy, Baker Mayfield like crazy. It's not slowing down here in mid-July. We got more to talk about. We have gone from the NHL draft, and now we've gone to some free agency madness. So we're going to talk to the experts here about what's been happening in the NHL. Johnny Hockey.
Who are the experts?
Carlos, our new friend.
Okay. Obviously.
We brought him in for backup.
Duh.
Yeah.
He's also a rapper on the side. So we'll talk hockey,
See
free
Dangle.
agency, jockey hockey.
See Dangle.
Also, after only 4 weeks, got to give a shout out. The porn bots, we're moving you to the side. We have actual listeners downloading content we must give appreciation to. Let's list off the cities and countries.
Go ahead.
ICT, Wichita, Kansas. Thank you. San Jose. We've got, I believe, New York, Belgium, Russia, an international following.
Woo!
Man, we must know what we're talking about.
Or you guys are really drunk and trying to find porn and just typing in ass, and every night, hey, you download us, baby, so we appreciate it.
That is why we probably shouldn't change the marketing from ass to cast, but here we are anyway, we're doing it. So let's hop right in. So anyway, again, thanks to everybody that's actually given us a shot here in the first 3 podcasts. This will be our 4th. We're only getting better. The content's getting better. If you have dealt with us up to this point, it's only going to get better. So let's fire right away. Again, we just got off of the NHL draft, and now, within a week, NHL Free Agency. Didn't see much until maybe the last 48 hours here, and the name Johnny Hockey in Calgary.
Oh, Johnny.
What happened? So give us some insight here, guys, into how we got out of the NFL or the NHL draft, and now free agency has started. What were you expecting going into things, and then how big of a bomb was Johnny Hockey moving?
Not moving. It's not a bomb that he moved away. It was more of a bomb that he went to Columbus out of all the East Coast cities because he lives in New Jersey. So fans and experts thought he was going to go to Philly, the New Jersey Devils, and the New York Islanders were the kind of 3 rumored teams that he was going to go to. And then, out of nowhere, well, at least to us, simpletons, the Columbus Blue Jackets become the team that he signs with. And he said it's one of the teams that he had circled down that he wanted to sign with. But, I mean, I guess it just being the Blue Jackets, being a franchise that really hasn't done a whole lot of big free agent signings in their entire franchise history, just did not see that happening.
I cannot wait to draft him randomly. And you try to trade rape me.
Yes. I mean, you did a good job, or at least your friend told you not to trade me McKinnon. So, good on you.
He was in a wheelchair. So the friend that told me.
I was going to say, tough to get icing.
That was Stephen Walking.
Stephen Walken. My new favorite man. But yeah, no, I thought it was a surprise because just a lot of big name free agents just don't sign in Columbus very often. But it sounds like Zach Werenski's kind of trying to buck the trend of people talking shit on Columbus as a city and as a hockey town. As a hockey town, I think it's a good spot, but as like it's a town or city, people don't really talk about it as much as like you would talk about like the Minnesota, Tampa, Carolina, or New York. Just kind of like as far as hockey fans go. But it seems like it's maybe starting to become a destination.
Yeah, well, they did open up that Cheesecake Factory there, so
it's pumping.
Is that all? Is that the old? What is it called? The Fun Times in Cleveland tourism. Is that part of the?
Well, good thing that's in Cleveland, not Columbus.
Same place.
It's Ohio proper.
Yeah, it's brown.
The water connects at the Turd Rivers. So, Schwammy, walk us through this. So, what type of a player is Columbus getting?
Well, he is a dynamic guy who can not only dish the puck, but he is such a good goal scorer too, and he finds the open ice, and he can, like I said, not only dish it out, but he can score. He's a guy who, for his size, people knock hockey players for their size a lot, depending on like if you're 5'10" or higher. If you're underneath that, like a lot of people, me, you get knocked for your size. But for him, he's not a gigantic player, but he plays big in the sense where he can dig the pucks out of the corners. He can make plays happen, and he is also just very hockey smart. His hockey IQ is off the charts for. Compared to a lot of the regular players in the NHL.
6-time All-Star.
Yeah, he's fucking great.
And so he goes to Columbus. So I guess it's not unexpected that he was a free agent. It's a shock where he actually moved. I did see some stuff on Twitter where folks were trying to suggest that Columbus is actually like not just a good hockey city, but a good city in general, and maybe that's why he went there. And with the dollars, he took less money to go to Columbus.
Well, yeah, and but the thing is, he wanted to be closer to home. That was his main thing. He wanted to be closer to home.
Is Columbus around I-95? I don't know. I'm from the Midwest.
I-95 goes north and south.
Yeah, so does that run all the way up until...
No. You're thinking of...
No, I'm completely wrong on my geography right now.
It's next to the Turd Rivers.
So, because I'm a nerd, I have nothing better to do. I have looked at people that have looked up these stats, and it's about 8 hours from where his family and where he lives. So, on the highway. But it's like an hour flight from wherever he wants to go.
Live?
I think somewhere on like the Jersey coast.
No.
In a van.
He's
down by the river.
GTL and all up and down the I-95.
Yeah, he's the next the situation.
The situation.
He caused a situation in the free agency, but no.
Watch him for tanning.
He was so dead set on being closer to home. I don't want to say it didn't matter where he landed out in the East Coast, but I think.
Well, he even said it didn't matter. He said it just closer to home, but he didn't.
But what is that? I mean, is that Dallas? Because he's in the States?
Does Allegiant have a direct flight from there?
We can check in with our buddy Jalen if he needs to know.
$39.
But I mean, it just kind of depends. From what I've heard, it sounded like Philly was his number one spot, but they were not going to move enough contracts and guys off the roster to fit him in.
How do you not? Who fucked up? Like who?
Their GM Fletcher. He is he proved that he was terrible in Minnesota, and Philly still went and signed him as a GM, and he has proven himself over and time again that he is terrible.
Just watching the whole what was it Wednesday that when free agency opened? Watching that whole day.
God bless you.
Watching that whole day and watching Philly's moves, it was like, what are you doing? There was no real buzz about Johnny going to Philly. It was more Islanders, Jersey, Columbus sneaks in at the last minute and wins. Boom Jenner blackmail Johnny Gaudreau. It's okay. I still
got those picks from Bornero.
That's one of our many conspiracy theories about Johnny Gaudreau.
Who's we? You and the New Jersey Devil fans?
Sponsored by @Twitter on his Twitter handle is @ATFF Foolaman. But he provided us with some
Foolaman. Like full of man?
No, like with an I. Foolaman.
Got it.
Foolaman.
Can you say it in a sentence?
Yes.
Please do.
Quit fooling it around.
Continue.
I forgot what we were talking about, boys.
So anyway, Johnny Hockey doesn't go to Philadelphia. The management at Philadelphia is inept again. It looks like New Jersey actually had a decent offer on the table and he just didn't go. I mean, is that how I'm understanding that?
I mean, you know more than I would.
I'm glad, in a way, we didn't get him.
Oh, now you say you're glad you didn't get him.
You know.
This was breaking news on his Twitter after he reviewed how everybody else thought about it.
Well, hope turns to spite real quick.
Spoken from a Catholic.
Vote no.
From a New Jersey fan's perspective, I'm happy that we're not tied into a contract with a third center. When we already have not a wealth of talent, because we don't have a wealth of talent, but we have
you have a center and a half.
We have two solid centers. As a fit and for the long-term contract, I'm glad we didn't give money, even though the contract to Palat seems dumb too.
They had to make up for not getting Johnny Hockey, so that's your 29th option apparently.
And he's a player that they needed. He's a big guy. He can contribute. He's definitely a player that they needed,
and they overpaid.
And they overpaid.
Well,
both
of course,
in
he was going to get
term
overpaid. That's not a shock.
Yeah, and
how much money are we talking here? Like, are we talking
at least
soccer player contracts?
At least $350.
$350.
$3.50.
yeah,
As much money as we made off our Amazon.
This was a Mexican League soccer contract.
Off of Tiga's underwear.
It was the shipping cost on his couples undies.
No, for real though. How much did this guy get to go play
Palat?
hockey?
or Johnny.
Whatever his name
No,
is.
Palat. Well,
Johnny.
I guess we could look at both, but I think Palat's was 5 years, 32.
So 6 or
32 million? Guaranteed or per year?
I don't
Or
think
total?
Hang on, I'm looking it
Contracts
up.
are
I'm looking it
guaranteed.
up.
I hate talking money in NHL.
Okay,
'cause I never understand it.
So Palat is a 5-year contract worth $30 million. Annual is $6 million.
That's like nothing,
But
really.
not guaranteed. But it doesn't really matter.
I don't know how much is guaranteed, honestly, because I'm not looking that up.
And the contract for Johnny Hockey, 6 years, like closer to 50, right?
So these are
think
nowhere
so.
the NBA contracts were.
no.
No, we talked about that last
Okay.
week.
Johnny Gaudreau signed a 7-year, over $68 million with the Columbus Blue Jackets.
How much of that is guaranteed?
All of it.
Oh. Well, good for
And
him.
so that annual average is 9.75.
How many games do these guys play? a year?
82 games a year.
Oh, well, not even close to baseball then.
No, it's like half of baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's ridiculous, but I mean, it's still good money. I mean, but
it ain't what we got.
but he still left at least $15 million on the table by
Scrubs.
not going back to Calgary, and that rubs a lot of those fans the wrong way. But at the same time, these are people just making life decisions and wanting to be closer to home. You can't knock a guy for that.
Again, I don't think Allegiant flies from Calgary.
Did you guys?
Closest is Vancouver. I just looked.
Did you guys see the? He was a newscaster in Calgary.
Oh yeah,
And he was signing off today or yesterday or whenever it happened. He was signing off and said, "I'll see you tomorrow unless a news company in Columbus gives me more money." And that's how he signed off today or whenever it was. But
yeah.
not deserved at all. But it was kind of funny.
It was funny. It was
Today, Junior.
yeah. It was.
I don't have thoughts.
It was funny, but yeah, it was. I mean, it was like, okay, cool. Moving on.
Okay, so
Now they have to worry about their arena.
So we talked about the two biggest free agency moves. We talked about Johnny Hockey, and then we talked like it transitioned into Palat. So let's talk a little bit more about that Palat deal because that was it was 1B as far as the movement of free agency. I mean, as far as I know. So was the landing spot for Palat, was it supposed to be New Jersey, or was he a known free agent? How did he land there? Let's talk about
I
it.
don't know. I think it was just kind of a mixed bag on who was going to pay him that.
They needed a big, strong power forward, and that's what they got. They overpaid for him, but honestly, with their cap situation, they can afford to overpay right now.
How old is he?
He's 30.
Okay, so like
So
prime
we'll
of
get
career or just a little after maybe?
I would
And
say
playoff experience.
I would say, and you kind of hinted at it a couple times when we were watching games towards the end of the playoffs, talking about Michael Myers. He really stepped his game up, and you mentioned it more often than I don't think anyone else that we were watching hockey with, that he had a great playoff. So I think he's hitting a good stride. I hope he can enter next season with that same momentum, and
So, yeah, I thought Palat had one of the best NHL playoffs of all the teams that were in there. The only other person that I thought, I mean, this even takes Colorado into consideration. I thought the only other person that had as good of a playoff as Palat did was Banjanerbad from the Rangers.
Zibanejad.
So, the way that
I would argue that pretty much the top line of the Edmonton Oilers would be able to outdo that because they were still the leading scorers and they got out in the third round.
Okay.
Connor McDavid probably should have been your Conn Smythe.
If he went to the finals, Connor McDavid is your Conn Smythe. I probably think regardless if they win or lose.
So my thought was with say the name again, Zibanejad. So my thought is that he was actually getting them further in the playoffs than they should have been, and Edmonton didn't make it as far in the playoffs as they should have.
If that's the case, then Shesterkin would have been your Conn Smythe because I think he was not only your Vezina winner, but he played pretty damn good in the playoffs.
Well, Vezina is a regular season thing.
Okay, yeah, but so was the Norris.
Right, but we're talking about the Conn Smythe.
I know. So
we're talking about playoffs.
I understand.
Thank you.
Playoffs.
I know, but but still, I don't know if Zibanejad would have got Conn Smythe. I mean,
I don't think
your
so. Opinion,
but I mean, that's outsider looking in for everybody. We're all looking at this different perspectives. I think it would have been Shesterkin if it was the Rangers in the final.
I think if
they won,
what McDavid did, and I am scared to see what he does next year in the playoffs, and if they actually have a goaltender. I am afraid to see what they do, and I'm so excited for them to play the Avalanche. That is going to be so fun.
So could it be argued that McDavid underachieved to a certain extent?
No, I don't think. No. I think goaltending and defense is what underachieved for Edmonton Oilers, but it was kind of as expected because they're not that good on that end.
Yeah, it wasn't
the offense. Did you not see some of the scores of that game or that series? Yes, it was a sweep, but they were fucking. I mean, they were shootouts.
And the Battle of Alberta too.
Yeah.
The
last time Johnny Hockey played in Calgary, as Carlos Orwello was letting us know.
Calgary?
Yeah. Just north of Medellin. Okay, so
where's that to Monterey?
We'll get there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we've talked about the biggest free agents. Maybe transition point would be, was there anything else free agency wise that shook the radar?
Shook the radar? I'm trying to think out loud.
I mean, who did the
Carolina?
Who did the Thunder get?
They re-signed the puck boy, so he's good.
Yeah.
No, so I think Carolina had a good day. I'm trying to think. I think Detroit also had a good day.
Oh, yeah, they did,
Yeah, Detroit had a low-key good signing period for free agency.
So
Colorado
is
signed
Stevie,
some key
is
pieces
Stevie
back.
Y? Is Stevie Y is he the GM?
Yeah.
So let's walk through what he's doing right now, because I've heard a little bit of this as well.
He's trying to put out a dumpster fire by throwing a bottle of water on it.
So
and it's not his fault.
Okay, so the reason I'm bringing up like where the team's approaches are is that we talked a little bit last podcast about how Chicago is a dumpster fire that is like in a 5-year rebuild, and we know that, they know it, everybody knows it. But Detroit with Stevie Y actually looks like they're putting in some effort to try to build back a little bit sooner.
Yeah, I mean they're trying to kind of start that quick. So the big signing for them, the two big signings would be Andrew Kopp and David Perron.
And what do they do, and why are they important?
So Andrew Kopp, who once he was originally in Winnipeg, got traded to the Rangers at the deadline, and he had a great not only playoffs, but he had a great time while he played for the Rangers. So that was a big free agent signing, and he's only 28 years old, so hasn't gotten over the 30-year mark. So he's going to have at least 3 or 4 years good left. And then David Perron, who was outstanding for the Blues in the playoffs. So you have another good playoff performer in those two guys, and plus they're veterans at this point in their career, so they can help with the younger core that the Detroit Red Wings are gathering or they have been drafting.
And Perron went over there with his boy Ville Husso. So
yeah, Ville Husso that's a good one too. That's a good trade by Detroit, as Mr. Whalo was agreeing with me with. But no, that's a good point. If you want to cap on that one.
So one of the things that I just saw a little bit from the outside looking in was that the players that Stevie Y is getting from the GM level, it sounds like they're a certain type of player, right? So it sounds like a physical brand of hockey. Am I understanding that right?
Well, as Biz and the boys on Spit and Chicklets like to call them, the Goon Squad. So they may not be the best team, but they don't take shit from nobody. I actually like watching the Red Wings, especially last year. They're a fun squad to watch.
Dylan Larkin at the beginning of last season, I forgot the situation. I think it was against Toronto where I think a Detroit player got run, and then Dylan Larkin. I didn't think it was his game, but he turned it into his game and immediately stuck up for his teammate.
Well, as the captain, you got to set that example, that precedent.
I love his intensity. I love Dylan Larkin.
Okay, so if it's the Goon Squad and we get more people on the Goon Squad, can they score a goal?
Well, when you sign guys like Kopp and Perron to add to their young they're actually probably a pretty lethal team. I think they're going to be. I don't know if they're going to be a playoff team next year, but they're going to be pushing close towards like a.
I heard they are signing Ron Artest.
Center.
That is their goon.
Carlos is kind of like our Kevin Weeks here. He just breaks everything.
Yep. Hey.
Including invaluable property. Sorry, Kevin.
And church parking lots.
And cars.
Hey, if you need an insurance guy.
So how far this year, how far out of the picture was Detroit from the playoff picture?
Give me a second, but continue to talk about him at least so I can look him up.
I'm just glad Dylan Larkin is American.
I'm just glad they're having fun.
I want everybody to have fun.
Well, Dylan Larkin has fun. He's a beautiful player at Michigan State.
He is a beautiful player.
Michigan State.
Beautiful eyes. I'm guessing.
By the way, we do have hockey reference in case you want to know where he came from.
Oh, I'm trying.
So in the Western Conference, they were 12 out of 16, and it's obviously top 8 make it into the playoffs. So they were kind of middle of the lower pack, if you would. They went 32, 40, and 10 in 82 games, so they got 74 points, which win percentage is under 500, obviously.
Okay.
So, and now I don't know if this matters, maybe for you gambling degenerates. Their goals,
also another reason we brought Carlos into the podcast.
Their goal differential was minus 82.
I'm a big fan of goal differential.
That's a good stat.
There you go. So maybe with signing Husso, that helps their goaltending, and they get maybe inch closer to that 8 spot.
So I should still bid on him.
Yeah, probably.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Do you think? And I'm not trying to play psychologist here, but let's play it anyway.
Hey, if you do, can I write it off on insurance this time?
I'm not licensed.
Andy needs another prescription.
I have severe eye twitch.
I have a prescription.
Do you?
Rest.
So anyway,
that was awful. Go take a lap.
I gotta put my sunglasses back on.
Take a lap.
Time heals all wounds.
All right, continue on.
Anything else NHL free agency wise?
No, I think it was actually a really exciting free agency day. I'm not gonna lie, the first 2 hours were really fun to see how it kind of panned out. So
it felt like an actual free agency day,
right? It lived up kind of the hype, if you would. And besides not knowing where Johnny Gaudreau was going to go to, another top one, Nazem Kadri, who at the point of this recording still have not signed with anybody yet. So that's still a point of contention.
Shawa, does that help your Avs? I mean, is that late in the night? Are they talking to each other? Are they whispering sweet nothings into each other's ears?
They're going to have to move somebody. And they're either going to have to move Eric Johnson or like Gerard. And I don't know. I don't know if that's going to happen. So
don't break EJ's heart or easy. Yeah,
I love Eric Johnson, but I think that's the guy you move. But at the same time, this is his last year of his deal. He has $6 million on the cap. So do you move that, free up $10 million, and then because they already have 4 available? So Yeah, that's a tough one, but that's one we can get into later if that happens.
I apologize. I do have more from NHL Free Agency.
Are you looking at pictures?
I am looking at
Those
pictures.
are titties. It's a picture book for Andy.
What's this thing that...
Why is there a cow?
Why is that a coloring book?
What's this double pancake-looking thing? So anyway, speaking of dumpster fires and gigantic tits, the gigantic tit in Las Vegas, why did they get rid of Pascatori?
Pascatori.
Who are you talking about?
I don't know, Max Pascatori.
Pascatori is on DoorDash, boys and girls.
You're wearing a Vegas Golden Knights hat and you don't know Max
Because
Pacioretty.
they spelled it for me.
It's
Some linguine.
No wonder TJ lost his free agency draft Val game last week because you weren't pronouncing the names right. But that was
I gave you that up front, though.
That's fair. So, but that's Pacioretty. They were trying to free up a lot of cap space because they're in cap hell right now. Speaking of the Vegas Golden Knights.
So what did they do to get themselves... Like, I don't recognize that roster at all anymore.
Which
like,
other chart?
It's because they have tried again to rekindle that magic of their expansion draft. And instead of trying to build their young
they
core...
inherit locker room killer Jack Eichel and purge the rest
besides
of their
that,
roster.
Besides that, they have tried to capture I won't say the big names, but a lot of good players that take up a lot of cap space. But they have to trade away so many draft picks for them. They're shooting themselves in the foot because they're trying to capitalize on aging stars that are not going to be there for very very long, and they haven't got dick for them in return. And so now they have to trade a bunch of people away to free up cap space to even get people to be able to play on their rosters.
What did they get for Fleury?
Nothing.
I don't think
they haven't
Or
got
was that free agency?
They
No, that was a trade, but let me see.
There was a list of the last 5 people of significance that have been purged from the Vegas Knights roster, and their return is nothing.
So the Vegas Golden Knights traded Marc-Andre Fleury to the Chicago Blackhawks, and they received a prospect, Nhl Free. I don't know if I'm
just checking in on Hackerin. He hadn't done shit.
Can you spell his name for me?
Yeah, it's Aelhakkarainen. Yeah, it'd fuck you up on Jeopardy.
Oh my god, I'm good.
That's not how you spell Miguel.
We'll get to the World Cup here in a bit.
I think we're talking Major League Baseball.
Miguel Cabrera.
Well, yeah,
So they basically traded nothing, or they traded Fleury for nothing.
He looks like the Shermanator from freaking Pie.
By the way, he just had his birthday. The Shermanator did, I believe.
Did he?
Yeah.
the actor.
Well, no, well, the driver's license on.
No, you're talking about McLovin.
Oh, excuse me.
McLovin,
Bad.
dude.
Close.
So, who's a bigger loser, McLovin or Shermanator?
I think the Vegas Golden Knights in this case.
Thanks for keeping us on track.
You're welcome. By a mile.
So a couple things that are pretty frustrating on the Las Vegas side of things. So not only are they getting rid of all these people, but now I heard this. Oh man, and I love me a good conspiracy theory, especially in Vegas. But I heard that in the first year of Vegas's, here we go. So I was hearing that one of the reasons that Vegas was so successful out of the gate was what was called the Vegas flu, air quotes.
Yeah.
So the Vegas flu being that the road teams coming into McCarran, flying in, doing what they needed to do, could not figure out how to not run around the strip and go cause all types of chaos.
Right.
And were worthless for the first year and probably beyond. And it required NHL teams to readjust, literally to the point of bringing flights into Vegas and McCarran as late as possible so they couldn't run on the strip. So Schwemmy, you tell me, is this legitimate? The fact that
I think so. I think in the first couple seasons, but once after everyone's like, okay, we're fucking here to play a game, or maybe not even the first couple of years, maybe the first game. After the first game or two, you're like, okay, let's take this shit seriously.
But I don't.
Can you look? Okay, let's use our hockey reference account, and it doesn't have to be right now. But I'm going to just throw this on the table. But I want to see Vegas's home record year one,
all time.
No, year one.
Okay.
2000 what?
2017-18. So, but to be fair to the Vegas Golden Knights, their home ice advantage, and this is talked about throughout the league, is probably one of the best in the league because their fans are so damn loud and so into the game.
They do their game presentation is so amazing,
off the charts,
and being duplicated not only just in hockey but everywhere.
Exactly,
it is so amazing, and that arena is. I mean. There aren't too many places in the NHL, and that's factoring in history and nostalgia and all you want to. There aren't too many better places in the NHL to watch a game.
No, and the DJ there, Joe Green, does a fantastic job there.
But and this is probably like one of the things that I don't know. It feels like that for the entire time that Vegas has been there as a hockey team, they've had a good team. So we've seen how fans and visitors react now, but now what's going to happen if they don't have anything?
But I think it's they started out great and they've only just declined every year.
Agreed. Now
they peaked already, and like people in high school, and have declined as they've gotten out of high school.
Fair enough. Jamie Kelly, who's not listening to this, but even this year at their absolute worst, they were still like fighting to the very end with Dallas to try to get into the playoffs. So what happens next year, hypothetically, when we don't have Max
Pacioretty?
There we go. And they're not even in the playoff picture. I mean, will it get to the point? I mean, you can do the presentations. There's plenty of places in Vegas that do a great presentation. Nobody shows up.
They're going to start selling trading guys for draft picks. And
what's left?
We have Marchessault, you have Carlson, and you have Leonard. So someone who's going to need a goalie at the deadline before a playoff push is going to ask for Leonard. And they're gonna. Some other teams are gonna ask for some depth guys like Marchessault and Carlson, and then I'm trying to think of any maybe Martinez or Theodore on the back end. So you have at least 5 guys you can sell, but then once you get rid of those guys, you have Dick all really.
I'm with you. Like I'm really concerned with where that franchise goes in the next 2 years.
I think as far as crowd goes, or filling the seats, I don't think that'll ever be a problem in Vegas. I think so. They have proven themselves to be
one way or another. It's not gonna be a problem.
Yeah, I don't think that is a problem.
Right.
Listen, coming from a guy that just got back from Vegas, I saw like 2 signs and that was it.
You talking about the ones where you have to donate money to because they're homeless, or what are you talking about?
The signs for the Las Vegas Knights.
You saw 2 signs for them?
That's it.
That's it. That's
nothing on the north end of the strip. You got to go to the MGM to see any signs about Las Vegas Knights.
That's shocking.
Yeah,
but I bet they have enough PR in the community. They really probably don't need to.
But see, that's where Vegas is so unique. Like they're 50% people that actually live there, and they're 50% tourists. And
they should have signs at the airport to go watch them.
That's true.
Jesus,
right?
You know how many people Harry Reid, no longer McCarron. See?
Stop it. That's not McCarron anymore. Nope. No wonder I've been searching for it on Google Maps for like the last 2 weeks.
They changed their name?
Yep, they changed their name.
Why?
I was very confused. I thought I was flying into
I know why.
I thought I was flying into the Virgin Islands.
So, I don't know. I forgot where Harry Reid was a representative from.
Apparently Las Vegas.
Go fuck yourself.
We got a winner.
So Harry Reid, he was a big proponent of UFO and UFO research and disclosure within the government. Well, it's Las Vegas. That's where all the alien UFO stuff happens in the United States. So there you go.
And Reno.
Yeah.
Or I could be wrong.
One of the only signs I saw was the MGM. In MGM Park.
Doesn't MGM own half that place anymore?
Well, the store is
half the strip. Yes.
Yeah. The store is right next door to the T-Mobile Arena. That's where they play. That's the only sign I saw. It's kind of sad.
So, I mean, I think at the end of the day, I think my concern is justified. I think in the next 24 months, we really, really are going to have... We have to see. We have to see. This has been the concern for so long. People did not want to put a team in Vegas for multiple reasons. Weather and people that actually live there. And they did not know how a franchise was going to survive. Let's use this cliche. They hit the lottery.
Wow.
With how well Vegas did out of the gate and since then. But if that team becomes a dumpster fire, I don't know how they're going to react out there. Yeah. I mean, T-Mobile Arena is amazing. It's indoors. They're not going to have the issues.
Usually hockey's indoors.
My point being is that they're not going to have the same issue that's been a concern about moving a baseball team or other teams that would be outdoors there because they won't have to worry about that.
By the way, my Uber driver, a reliable source, told me that they're tearing down Rio to put a Major League Baseball team there.
Breaking news by Carlos Oruela.
You heard it here.
Wow.
A fucking Kevin Weeks / Woj bomb for you guys.
Breaking news by Carlos Oruela.
This is an NBC News special.
All right, good job.
Have we developed our LLC yet? Because I think we just got sued by Paramount.
I'm still working on it.
I can get it registered pretty quickly.
Don't make them take away our Amazon.
Okay, so anything else hockey-wise? That's
no.
Okay.
I think we're good. We can move on. We can finally talk about something else.
So we are since we were talking about Vegas,
right?
We do have a couple of folks on this podcast that know how to gamble. So let's transition to our guest host.
Yeah,
the C of the Cass podcast.
Today's Cass podcast.
Carlos, tell us your experience in Vegas. Tell us your betting in Vegas, your experience in Vegas, anything that we need to know in Vegas.
Night one was a disaster. I didn't drop any acid. I didn't smoke any weed. Got a little drunk, but it is what it is. So I thought I'd try my luck at the blackjack table, and thanks to Juan, shout out my girl.
Juan's a girl?
Juan.
Oh!
H-U-A-N. She's Asian.
Oh!
That explains a lot.
I thought she was dealing carne asada.
I thought she was in the next single freaking Mr. Worldwide, Pitbull. It is what it is.
And the ACL just sued us.
You mean when
get that LLC ASAP.
We need insurance. No, it was a good time.
Don't sue us. Sue our company.
It was a good time.
So
Didn't
anyway,
see Colleen there.
Who won? Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah.
Anyway, who won?
Well, I won.
Vegas probably
Night one, won about 500, but then night two it took about 800 away.
That's a tough day.
Yeah. Oh well.
Carlos, there was a picture that circulated on social media about one of your compadres taking a picture of you while you were at a table, and they caught him.
Oh yeah, Zach.
Well, I was going to say his name, but okay.
Well, I'll say it. It's fine. Yeah, he's still looking for bail money, by the way.
So we have 3 different lawsuits going right now.
Thankfully, none of our names are actually on those lawsuits.
And I don't think Zach can get an LLC for photobombing at a casino, but that's okay.
Did he make money off of it?
So in addition to Carlos just being an exceptional traveler and knowing Vegas very well, he is also very skilled in many, many sports. And I thought it'd be good to talk about. Is it too early to talk about World Cup?
Never.
Let's go. So
Yeah.
let's see where we're at. We are start of the World Cup, even in the preliminaries. Are we talking November?
Late November. Yeah.
Okay.
Late November.
So give us your feel on what to expect. The United States is going to... I think their group is already established with, England, Iran, and some other folks.
Yeah, definitely. I do think that the U.S. will probably get through, but that's about it for them.
And when you say get through, you're talking about...
The group stages. Yeah.
Okay, so
I-
walk
I-
us through that.
I think they'll get through, in second place of their group. I think England will definitely be the team to beat in that group. But other than that, I don't see them progressing past the round of 16.
Well, okay, so for, novice football soccer fans, who on the U.S. should U.S. fans be watching?
I think Weston McKinnon is the guy to watch.
Is that
I
Nathan
think-
McKinnon's brother?
I don't think so.
Close.
Yeah. I think Weston...
That'd be really
They're
weird.
on the same continent.
If he ran around in a World Cup with a curved stick, that'd be very odd.
It'd probably be assault.
Yeah, no, I think Weston's really good. I think Gio Reyna is the guy to, hopefully that he comes along. But I think for the, the Christian Pulisic of the world, I think they'll be lucky to make it because of his injuries. And
Gotcha.
yeah.
So what are his injuries? Like how bad? I mean, we're talking about the start date of World Cup in November, and we're talking about injuries for him.
Well, it's not about injuries right now. It's about sustaining injuries throughout. I don't think
So he's prone to injury.
Yeah, he's very prone to injury. I don't think he'll be able to last the whole tournament.
Okay.
That's- That's my take on him. I mean, I think he's probably looking for a new home. I think Chelsea's probably gonna look for a buyer very
Well, they've
soon.
already, they've announced up there.
I think with the signing of Sterling at Chelsea, I think he's done there for sure.
Didn't they get Sterling pretty cheap too?
I mean, if you consider about $45 million pretty cheap, then yeah.
I mean,
that's
yeah.
I lost that at Waltz the other night.
Yeah.
Hashtag new sponsor.
But he's also getting. I think Sterling is also getting to the, tail end of his career. So. Yeah,
So where's the United States right now? Where's our men's team world ranked?
I think they're 14th, if I'm mistaken.
Well, how's that?
Um,
how many?
I don't know.
14, yeah.
Well,
Okay.
yeah. So I mean, 14th. Yeah. So I mean, they're the highest CONCACAF rated team for sure, other than Mexico. So, but Mexico is another league. I think U.S. is. Yeah, they'll be lucky to make it through the 16th.
Okay, so who's in? Okay, so let's break this down a little bit. We've transitioned from hockey to World Cup, which is a little bit odd. So, talk about the structure of the World Cup, how it happens, the teams, the tournament, all that kind of stuff. So, it's my understanding that the World Cup is going to be basically different groups of 4 teams. So, walk us through the amount of groups of 4 teams, how that playoff structure works, and what we should be excited about in November, December, and January.
Yeah, so you basically get 4 groups. Group A through Group, I believe it's H. The first 2 make it out of each group. So in the USA group, you have England, Iran, USA, and I'm not sure who else qualified.
Scotland.
I think it's Scotland. I don't think the Ukraine made it through.
No, it was Wales. Wales got through, didn't they?
You're right. Yep.
So
you're
England
right.
and Wales got through the
England-
same group?
Yep. England, Wales, Iran, and the U.S. I think, with Gareth Bale, I think that it's going to be a fight for number 2. I think that England's got it. I think
England's going to be your suggestion to get through the group as the number 1.
I think they'll win the whole thing.
The whole damn World Cup.
I
Whoa!
Okay?
Holy shit!
I think it's going to be England versus Argentina in the final.
Okay?
Just looking at the groups and how they play out, I think they will. And I think England wins it. Just the amount of talent they have, the youth. I think it's a no-brainer for them to at least get, obviously get out of their group as number 1. That gives them a huge advantage because they'll play, the lower seeds out of the Group H, which is Portugal, Ghana, Uruguay, and South Korea.
So I'm also thinking about this group from a betting perspective. And so when we're talking about betting the groups through, you're suggesting that England's going to be a significant favorite to get out of there. I don't know what the betting odds are. We can look them up.
Yeah.
I just hope anybody gets out of
But
Qatar.
you're suggesting that the remaining 3 teams, United States,
Iran
and Wales, basically don't have a shot to get through as the number 1
No,
in the group stages.
Not a chance.
Okay.
I think it's a fight for number 2 between the U.S. and Wales.
Okay, fair enough. And so continuing on with World Cup, let's talk about some of the other teams that are outside of the USA group. Brazil's been a favorite forever. France, Italy. Let's talk about some of the bigger players in World Cup and where they stand.
Shout out to our follower in Belgium. I think
Belgium's probably got a shot.
I think they'll win their group. You know, I think they got Croatia in that group, which is it's a tough one. You know, Luka Modric. That they went to the final.
They went to the final. When?
Semifinals. I'm sorry, they lost to
No,
Argentina.
they lost the last. Are you talking about the last World Cup?
No, they went to the semifinals against Argentina.
I thought they lost to France in the final.
That was Argentina.
Oh. Well, I'm going to shout
Okay,
it now.
so say that again. So
You have Google. You can look it up.
Yeah, look it up.
okay, so walk us through that again.
Dumbass.
Oh well, I think Belgium is a heavy favorite. You know, Eden Hazard. I think he needs to play a little bit more with Real Madrid. I think the start of La Liga, that'll be key for him. They also have Lukaku, who's just got sold to or loaned out to Inter Milan. I think Argentina. I mean, with their youth and Messi, I think they'll be heavy favorites too. And then don't forget about Portugal. Jesus, I mean we've been talking about Ronaldo for a while. I don't want to bring Jesus into this, but
I mean, and their group is Ghana, Uruguay, and the Korea Republic.
I think
Uruguay's decent, right?
Uruguay's good, man. They qualified pretty high at the top of.
Speaking about Portugal, that
CONMEBOL. But yeah, I mean Messi. This is it for him. I mean, he doesn't have another one, but so does Ronaldo. And I think Messi has been, definitely in the tail end of his career. But he's in a team now that he's no longer the star. So
and
this is it for him.
And his group is Saudi Arabia, Mexico, and Poland.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, it seems like Mexico always gets Argentina. I mean, Jesus.
Well, thank God Ghana's not in the same lineup as the U.S. for once. Jesus.
Thank you, crying meme.
Yeah. God.
But,
so
I think a sleeper for sure this year is going to be the Netherlands. I think their team is.
I think Netherlands is like always sneaky there and sneaky close. And they just haven't got through.
If you look at their team now, I mean they are. I don't know that they have a player over 30 playing for them. I think they're a very young team, and
Depay's special.
Yeah, well, you look at the young. I mean, he's wanted by everybody right now, and he wants to stay at Barcelona. I don't know why, but it is what it is.
He loves it there, unlike Johnny Hockey, who didn't like Calgary.
Well, yeah, but he's making that much money. Of course, he loves it there.
Well, how much money is he making? Just off the cuff. If you know, it's fine.
I think he's probably making about $20 million a year. Probably.
I would love it too.
Yeah, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Messi,
somebody that made $30 million today.
Yeah, Man U is hot after him, but he does not want to leave.
So hot.
With good reason. I mean, I wouldn't want to go to Man U either. But
what going off of what happened to Man U?
God, it's tough to tell. I don't know. I think mismanage of buying players, selling players, and definitely their managerial picks just been awful. I mean. But, it's tough to compete with Liverpool and Man City right now in the EPL. And it shows because they're no longer playing Champions League football. They're playing Europa League, which, I mean, that you go from making, I think probably a couple million by just being in the Champions League to playing in the, Europa League to making maybe a couple $100,000. It's tough.
It really is.
I think going back to the World Cup, I'm trying to think through teams, and there's one team that I don't think that I mentioned that I want to because I feel like they're a player to the quarterfinal and semifinals. Germany, where are they going to be at?
Germany, they're missing a striker. That's the big thing they're missing. I mean, they have Mueller, who's this is it for him, but I think
Mueller.
Yeah, I think where they're at is that they're definitely super young. Their coach just pretty much wrote off half the team, from, when they won the World Cup back in 2014.
2014.
Yeah, I think that they're...
I think I was in my car when they won it.
Who'd they beat?
I fist pumped and I immediately had a sunroof.
Who they beat? I can't remember
They
who
beat Brazil.
Brazil.
Brazil was in the semis.
Oh, it was Argentina.
No,
I think Brazil was in the semis because they massacred Brazil like 7-2.
7-1. Yeah, 7-1. Yeah. It was tough to watch, but
2014.
I can't really remember who they. It might have been Italy.
In World Cup 2014?
No, Italy wasn't even in the World Cup. But
No,
Netherlands.
Yeah, it
no,
was.
Yeah,
It
it was
was.
Netherlands.
they beat Argentina.
No,
Yeah, I'm looking it up. Wikipedia would not lie to me.
they beat Argentina.
We
Yes.
pay all this money for soccer references on Wikipedia.
No, you were right because
Wikipedia.
Yeah, you're right. You're
Waka
100%
waka.
right.
Waka waka.
Yep, they beat Argentina.
We got sued again.
because they
That's
they
our
got
fourth lawsuit in this podcast.
they beat Argentina in the overtime. They beat them with God, who scored that goal? I can't remember.
Hang on, I'm trying to get
It's
to that.
he plays for PSV Eindhoven now, and
Oh, there's a
Netherlands.
section for head injuries.
yeah.
Sorry to cut you off.
But I think another team that's not to forget about is France. They're super young. They still have, they have Pogba. They have a balling ass midfield. It's
So here's
It's
the
gonna be
final
tough.
for 2014.
yeah. Can you find out who scored?
Götze.
Yeah, Mario Götze. Yeah. That was the downfall of his career, but
Is it the peak and downfall?
scoring that goal was probably the worst thing that ever happened to him because
Why?
he was at Borussia Dortmund and he was starting. He was undisputed one of their best players, and then he joined Bayern Munich after that. And
Didn't
just
do
lost it.
shit.
Yeah, when you go from being a starter to running the bench,
Oh.
then yeah.
Damn, Netherlands beat Brazil that year in the third place game.
Brazil
3-0.
sucked that
Yeah.
year.
Well, you gotta understand that a lot of these guys. when
Oh,
they-
that was the semifinals of Germany beat them 7-1.
7-1, yeah.
I didn't know if you said
I
that.
You
literally,
gotta be
you think
defeated.
I'm lying? I
Yeah.
literally almost put a hole in my
Wow.
car because of how bad that
remember
was.
when you almost paid me $1,000 when Colombia?
I gave you
almost-
10-1 bets.
Yep.
10-1
Was
odds. Not 10-1 bets.
wasn't that the World Cup we joked about going to?
Yeah. Anyways, it hurts me that Colombia's not going to this World Cup.
Yeah.
I mean, it just sucks because I think we could have really done something based on the group that, Uruguay got placed on. I think we could have done something there, but
That's what happens when Qatar's allowed in.
well, it's what happens when you don't score a goal for 600 minutes.
That's that true.
For how long?
So Colombia set the world record for not scoring a goal in consecutive games. I think the minutes were like 600 and some minutes. It's just
Beating the old record from Swaziland in 2012.
when the potato years were exaggerated.
Or anybody playing FIFA in this basement. That's just insane. You would think
Well,
in that time frame at least one fucking goal would go in.
Mhm.
That is insane to think.
You would
about.
think. I mean,
In
Our-
perspective, it's insane.
our defense was ridiculous because they had, I believe it was 6-0-0 games
Jesus.
where
Christ.
our defense was just not letting anything in.
That's crazy.
You can't win games when it's 0-0.
Yeah, that's
And I mean, we lost out in the World Cup by 1 point. So if we would have just won one of those 8 games, we would have been in. No problem.
that's the New York Jets way of winning.
Yeah.
That's their
exactly.
philosophy.
Yep.
But yeah, no.
Hey, talk about Zach Wilson. How about that guy?
dude, he likes MILFs,
Fucking
and so do
legend,
I.
dude.
Have you not seen
Do
this?
you remember when I
you
banged
haven't seen
the
it
bear
when he
lady?
banged one of his teammates' moms?
What?
Zach Wilson, dude. He's
Yeah,
one-
dude.
We have
Where have
two
you been?
totally different conversations going on right
Yeah,
now.
we
This
do.
is so
By the way,
Hold
sad.
on, pick
I'm drafting
one.
him.
Zach Wilson. That's what we're going to talk about. That's a very interesting topic.
Anyways, hold on. To close out
Yeah,
the whole World Cup thing, to close it out, I think
Take at least 2 minutes because I gotta go piss.
All right. I think England is. I think it's coming home. I think so.
You think this is the year for England?
I think
or
so.
the World Cup?
I think so, man. I think this is it for them. They were super close to winning. The Euros. They lost to, I believe they lost to Italy in shootouts, but they have a squad, man. They are legit. I think I think Man City and Liverpool, what they've shown in the past few years,
Right.
both of them being in back-to-back, Champions League finals. I think that just shows you that EPL is, it's the best league in the world. But
So okay, so if you're, I mean, I know you're a betting man. Not if you're a betting man, but if you're a betting man to our audience, is that the money you put on? You put them on England, or who's the best? Who's the best in your opinion?
well, it depends. If you wanna bet on the favorites, I think you bet on England or Argentina.
Right.
If you want to bet on maybe a
Not
dark horse
or like
and,
middle of the pack kind of.
yeah,
team.
middle of the pack, you can bet on France. You can bet on Belgium. I think Belgium's got a super squad.
Yeah.
Their coach, Roberto, he's Martinez. He's legit,
Right.
and so yeah, we'll see. It'll be fun to watch from Vegas, by the way.
I mean, have any of you put any bets on any of this yet? Because I mean, like I said, I've mentioned
Yep.
before, I don't put a lot of money on.
I put
this
$100
stuff.
on England to win it.
Okay.
I think they're it.
What about you
this year?
What about you, Scrode?
I haven't looked. I'm going to pull up my betting account right now. And,
Is that the same password as the reference page?
Also, if you want to bet on just group stage games,
Yeah.
you put your money in Ecuador. They're solid.
Right.
I think they qualified third in CONMEBOL, which is huge. I mean, that's ahead of Peru. That's ahead of Colombia. I mean, that's big. Ahead of Uruguay, by the way.
And that
who
Ecuador's
are
in
favorites, by the
Ecuador's
way.
in that group A, which with Qatar.
Yeah. I don't
Netherlands,
think
Senegal.
Brazil. I don't think Brazil is in the discussion. Me personally,
Really?
That's
from
Vegas'
winning it.
favorite, right?
Yeah, but the thing is,
That's easy favorite.
but Neymar cannot stay healthy. He's not completed six
But they
games
have,
in the
they
World
have
Cup.
Jesus.
He might stub his toe.
Jesus, who's just signed for Arsenal, by the way.
Yeah, I'll play him on FIFA.
Yeah. No, I don't think Brazil. I don't think this is it for them. I mean, they got some good players, but
Yeah.
when it comes down to, I think they'll just kind of.
Crumble like they did to Germany 71. Oh God,
Exactly.
7-1. That was so sad. Oh,
By the way, who's second in that list?
Which list?
The betting.
Oh, England.
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 That's it, man.
That might
is
be
it.
the best one right
That
there.
is-
so
Europe.
it's Brazil, England.
France,
Spain.
Spain, Argentina, Germany, Belgium.
Don't bet on the USA to win the World Cup.
Well, you told us
Why
not even to
not?
bet them get.
I
out
don't
of the
think
group.
Carlos
No,
likes...
they'll get out of the group. They'll get out of the group in second place behind
Okay.
England. But
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a battle between. I said this before with them and Wales. That's going to be good.
Oh well.
Yeah. And by the way, Gareth Bale playing for LAFC. That's going to be fun.
Recently signed, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Be fun
So-
to watch.
Ass casters. We can talk hockey. Now look, we can talk a little football.
Football.
So Carlos will be our correspondent moving forward.
He will be in Qatar.
I will be in Harris.
And just like we said on hockey, we're glad to talk about your teams in soccer just like we are in hockey. So we've been very fortunate. We've had some folks that have decided to follow us internationally to follow hockey, Belgium, Russia. Where were our other European followers?
Well, the exotics place of San Jose, California.
San Jose Sharks in the
How
house.
about the San Jose Earthquakes? Yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
Big powerhouse.
By the way, I
forgot-
got so confused the other day. It looked like the LA Galaxy was playing the LA Football Club, and I was like, wait a minute, the whole city loses.
They were. El Tráfico.
Yeah.
That's what
El
they call it.
Trafico?
El
Yep.
Tráfico.
Yep.
This is the 405 series.
That's what they call it.
Is it
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, it's really the El
Wow.
Tráfico.
It's like you're on their
That's what they
marketing
call it,
team.
man.
Anyway.
Good job.
Yeah, I got my money on
So at
LAFC.
at Asscasters, or I guess today Castcasters, just let us know which football teams you want to talk about. We're glad to talk about. Yeah, a little Russia, Romania, Belgium, France. Yeah, absolutely. So getting some traction on the folks that are listening, and then going to the United States, Seattle, San Jose, Wichita, Kansas of all places, Kansas City, Dallas, and New York.
Shocker.
Yeah.
Middle of
Wichita,
nowhere.
Kansas.
Flyover country.
What a bunch of douchebags.
Either that or Enid, Oklahoma is really excited.
That's going to be Wichita's new city slogan. Wichita. What a bunch of douchebags.
And Nate, Oklahoma, the home of the three-titty genie.
Yeah. That's. Wait, where'd you come up with that?
I seen her.
Seen
I
her.
seen her in the night. And I gave her $5.
Let's transition.
And I got a hamburger.
What are we talking
Okay.
about next, guys?
So your guys' call. So we could talk a little bit about just football in general, or I have
Zach Wilson.
or we could, we got Zach Wilson on the table. I've also got,
I gotta be educated.
NFL.
NFL.
He banged his best friend's mom.
So we're talking.
We're talking a legend here.
Okay, so his best friend or a teammate?
Teammate / best friend.
Oh, they were teammates at BYU.
Yeah.
This is a whole like.
We talking Mormons now?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean
Vegas.
Yeah. Oh,
Shout out
fudge.
BYU Cougars.
Sorry,
Fudge.
Enid, Oklahoma.
Yeah. She has a husband but 2 boyfriends. And 0
It's
electricity.
okay. They're soft swingers. They only grope each other. They don't go all the way.
Yep. All right. So what do we got?
Sometimes that's all I can get through is a nice groping.
What do we got NFL
So
guys?
Carlos,
A drive-by groping.
Carlos, last week we talked about the craziness that Baker Mayfield got shipped off to Carolina for a conditional 5th-round pick.
Legendary adult. No, hold on. You didn't go into all the detail. Legendary adult star cougar Lisa Ann Hops.
How does she spell Lisa? That's probably going to tell us all we need.
How many vowels is in her
With a
name?
Y.
LEAZZA.
Thank you.
ZZ Top.
That was a high five.
I gave you all 3 of my digits.
You uncoordinated fucks. Okay, legendary adult star cougar Lisa Ann hops on the Zach Wilson bandwagon.
Literally.
Yeah, he didn't bang her. She just hopped on him.
There we go.
You know.
Very,
I grinded somebody
don't
once.
read anything else into it.
Yeah.
Oh my
No,
god.
that guy's a legend.
Do you know Zach Wilson's middle name, and then we can move away from it?
Albert.
Humper.
Andy?
Humpert?
Capino.
It's like Mr. I'm gonna bang your mom, Wilson.
Capino Swahili for fuck your mom.
Yep.
Thank you for the lesson.
Exactly. So where are we at with the Chiefs here?
Not signing Orlando Brown.
Is
Yeah,
it too early
that's-
to go over NFL schedule? Or what, Andy? I'm sorry, you had something else.
Well, we got there is actually quite a bit in NFL to cover.
There always is.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this mess that the Chiefs are in.
I don't
We
want
really should.
Okay.
We avoided it last week. It's actually getting worse.
They can actually sign another wide receiver if they wanted to.
Probably.
I actually don't think their receiving core is going to be that bad this year.
No,
like,
not at all. That was
so the one thing they got to figure out. So Tyreek Hill is in Miami. Okay, go waste the rest of your career there. Fine, go.
Just
'Cause
like
Tua-
everyone else there.
Tua is not going to get it done. I don't get the traction that Miami's getting for a team that's actually going to sneak up and make the playoffs.
All it is names.
They're the
That-
best. They're the best third team in the in that division.
Patriots are the best team in that division.
No, I think Buffalo is.
Oh, excuse me. You're
Yeah.
right. Sorry. My
Yeah,
bad.
So-
I think the Patriots are close, but
So-
not,
but if
not
we-
yet.
Okay, but yeah, I mean, I don't know if they're really going to turn a lot of heads. Maybe within their own division, they may be the top 2, but they're outside of that. They're not going to do jack shit.
In Miami,
Yeah,
the whole thing with Miami is that there's still a coin flip chance that Tua is not going to be a garbage quarterback.
Right.
I'm done with him. I don't think he's going to be worth a shit ever.
Even if he's a garbage quarterback,
So you're
he's
going to go ahead.
He's gonna get hurt halfway through the season.
Yeah.
So who do they bring in?
So that means
Replace
Andy's
him.
going to draft him at our draft party.
Yeah, of course, and Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah.
Yes, all of those things.
Yeah. No, I think the hype in Miami is kind of weird. I mean,
It is what you said. It's hype.
it is, and they're not even the third best team. I mean, I think the Jets have done.
They're still not even the best team in Florida. They're not even the best team in Florida.
No, behind the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Exactly.
And, of course,
The Jacksonville Sharks in the
Tampa
Arena
Bay
League.
Buccaneers.
Yeah.
Megalodons.
Yeah.
My boy Tom.
Yeah. But no,
Yeah.
Anyway, I didn't mean to step on your point, but
No,
you're
good.
You're saying.
No, I think it's weird how they have that much hype. I mean, they don't even have a good coach. I don't even know who the coach in
So
South Florida is.
their coaching
Who is their
situation
coach?
got worse.
Who is their coach?
They fired Brian Flores, who I thought
he was gonna be good.
amazing.
Well, yeah,
no shit, man. I don't know why they fired him.
And if I backpedal just a little bit in my mind, Brian Flores is a defensive coach that
For Houston, I think now.
and he was still the one that had to pull the trigger on drafting
He didn't
Tua, right?
He
Right.
wanted the Deshaun Watson. He didn't want Tua.
So the Dolphins head coach now is
Somebody you don't
No,
know.
what? No, it was supposed to pull
It's
up.
some
Hang on.
nerd that's in
It
his
was
mid-30s that's supposedly an
Mike
offensive
McDaniel.
specialist. Offensive
Mike
specialist,
McDaniel,
right?
Yes, and
Josh
he came
McDaniel's
from
cousin.
he came from the San Francisco 49ers.
Oh, well, then he's in trouble. 'cause
Yeah.
They
See?
suck, too.
I don't know, man. Like I understand that owner has a lot of money, but what are you doing?
There's a lawsuit.
They're signing names to get fans into the building. Now
But it's Miami. They'll never get fans in the building.
that might be true, but at the same time, I mean I don't know.
When's the last time Miami's been like?
Relevant?
When Dan
Yes.
Marino couldn't win a Super Bowl.
Probably
The
not.
end.
It's probably not. It hasn't even been since the 2000s. It's probably the 90s.
No, they made the postseason when
Once
God, I can't remember the
When Mark Duper was a wide receiver.
Mark
No.
Duper.
Look it up.
I'm not knocking you.
When was the last time the Dolphins went to the
Let's look.
playoffs? I think it was 2008 because that was when the
Last time in the playoffs was 2000. Wow, they actually made the wild card round in 2016.
well before
That's a
that.
shocker.
It must have
But
been really
I'll look
wild.
it up here.
Yeah, I don't think they've done anything recently.
So,
But
Since then, they made 2008 lost in the
Yeah.
wild card round
I'm
there.
pretty sure. Yeah.
2001 lost in wild card round there.
Chad
Lost in
Henne.
the divisional
Chad
round
Henne.
in
Chad
2000.
Henne.
Chad
Oh,
Henne.
Ricky
I'm
Williams
pretty-
with
I'm
that?
pretty Sure.
Ooh.
Yeah, that documentary, by the way, is amazing.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, the Ricky Williams one.
the
is
30 for
awesome.
30.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's,
Oh, yeah,
it's
it's-
really
yeah, it's
good.
amazing.
Definitely must watch.
That dude was higher than giraffe pussy.
It's
Ditto.
lower than
Yeah.
cricket tits. So back to our original point. We kind of got off a little bit.
A little bit.
We were
Talking about cricket tits.
What are we doing? What are the Chiefs doing about Orlando Brown?
So here's the issue with the Chiefs. They got multiple issues, and actually, if we can pull up Football Reference again, I just want to go through name by name on their defense. I wasn't going to talk about this today, but when we talk about like where the Chiefs are and where they're going to finish in the AFC West, they are fucked, and the reason for it is going to be their defense. And
I can't say I disagree with that.
I am glad to walk you through
AFC
that.
West, you said? I mean, they're going off against Russell Wilson, Justin
Herbert.
Yeah,
and,
so-
Jesus, and Carr.
So their
Man.
offense is no better. So they lose Tyreek Hill.
I don't know if their offense is no better. Maybe I
Who
don't
they
know.
signed?
I think
Who
they have.
they
So
signed
they
to
got
replace them?
Juju. They got Juju.
I think
from
they're. I
Pittsburgh.
think they're
the
deeper
TikTok
on
guy?
offense.
Juju,
Yeah,
the
that
TikTok
guy. I think their wide receiving core is better than last year.
What?
No.
Yeah,
no.
I think depth wise
What?
it is.
No.
I think so.
Without Tyreek?
I'm not
Yeah.
totally opposed to what he's saying, but here would
But
be
I'm
the
not
difference.
saying
It
why
takes
because
the shine off?
they have more weapons.
But they still
spread
can't
out.
go deep.
What?
They can still go deep.
Who?
Scantling can go deep. You should
Oh.
Juju's
Yeah,
gonna be
if
on the
you
sidelines
want-
doing TikTok
yes.
videos with Mahomes' wife and her
Boy
brother.
and a brother.
Okay, so
don't
there's
get
a
me
couple
started.
His
things.
brother, her, not her.
Oh,
His
yeah.
brother.
I think their offense is gonna be fine, but I think to Andy's point is correct. Their defense is what is going to lose them games.
But that's always been the.
That's been the
always
key.
been the
But
case.
I
it's
understand.
worse.
Been the
It's
case.
worse now, and the offense
Tyron
is
Matthew
better.
is also gone, by the way.
Goner. So
That's
let's
fine.
again. You
Really?
you guys. Okay, can you guys?
after last year, yeah. it's fine.
You guys probably have Football Reference in front of us, so let's go like literally. If you can put it in front of me, let's go name by name through their
Yeah,
defense
just name
because
them.
they have two
Well, maybe
rookies.
if you
They
open
are,
up your
Just
laptop.
name them.
they
Yeah,
are-
you
they-
do have a computer.
They are
You
starting.
do have a microphone. so
They
you
are
can just say 'em.
starting two rookies,
Yep.
and one of them is in the secondary. If you want death in the AFC West, start a fucking rookie in the secondary.
Especially with those quarterbacks that we just mentioned.
They're,
Right.
they are in
their Carr,
huge
Russell
trouble.
Wilson, Justin Herbert. I mean, Jesus.
and walk through that front four that's supposedly going to be
By
putting
the-
some type of a rush
I-
against experienced quarterbacks. Go for it.
I really do think that the Chargers are going to be a force to reckon with.
I don't disagree with that. I am not. They have shown flashes in the last 2-3 years that
Let's
they're
just,
going to be.
let's just put it this way. Do you think the Buffalo Bills win against the Chiefs this year in a playoff match?
I don't even think the Chiefs get there. Not against
Mm.
Buffalo. Buffalo's going to be playing for championship shit. They're
Yeah.
better than they were last
They
year,
just added,
and they shouldn't have lost to
they
the
just added
Chiefs.
that-
And they're motivated.
They just added the guy from Denver. No, he was with the LA.
Von Miller.
Von Miller, man.
Yeah.
That is scary.
He wanted to sign it with Dallas, and
Thank God he didn't.
We're not talking about the Cowboys. We're talking about.
I'm
teams
just
winning-
mad.
winning
Yeah,
games.
I'm
fuck
just
the
mad.
Cowboys.
So AFC
Headlines,
West against
yeah.
is crazy. So let's look at all these offenses. The Chiefs are maybe as good as they were last
On
year.
offense.
Right.
Maybe
Maybe.
with a worse defense. And then so if we look at the Chargers. The Chargers
Are insane.
Yeah, they're
They
gonna
are
the only thing that
insane,
we need to know
really
about the Chargers is that they are a more mature Justin Herbert team now.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know about
And they
them.
added
right?
some key players on defense too. By the way,
Oh, I'm not disagreeing.
they
with
added
that.
that. Oh my God, what is his name? I'm blanking out. Linebacker from the Patriots. Blanking out right now, but
Jeopardy music.
they added some players on defense.
Teddy Bruschi.
Now talk about the Las Vegas Raiders. Jesus, Devontae Adams. See you later.
But okay, so here's an interesting point, and I like the Raiders. They're a Las Vegas team. Those are the people that I like. But here's one of the problems. Let's name an Aaron Rodgers wide receiver that got better or as good as he was when he left fucking the Packers. Crickets, because they don't have one.
Not really.
Aaron Rodgers has made more receiver. I can go through the list. Devontae Adams used to be he was their wide receiver number 3.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And now let's look at him. Now they're calling him the number 1 receiver in all of football.
Mm-hmm.
Not the case. Not saying that he's not good, just not the best in all of football. He made Jordy Nelson,
A farmer from Kansas.
a farmer from Kansas, 1,000-yard receiver. He made Randall Cobb a fucking wide receiver from Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
Kentucky.
But where does that get him though?
Money.
Who are you talking about?
Rodgers. Where does that get him?
Roger. Well, it hasn't got
Won
him championships. But
Won.
my point was, I'm actually going back a little bit to. Oh man, I'm getting so frustrated. You got so many fucking rosters in front of me. What are we looking at now? Okay, Kansas
It's a
City.
phone.
Kansas City wide receivers. Who in the hell is going to take the top off of a defense with Juju Smith, who can't run a fucking route over 15 yards? Sky Moore, rookie, right?
He's fast as shit.
Fast as shit.
Fast as shit. But he ain't no Tyreek though.
No
So-
one's Tyreek. We're gonna. I mean, I agree with that.
Oh, and back to our point with the Packers. Marquez Valdez
Scantling.
Scantling,
Yeah.
MVS. He's not scaring me.
Did the Chiefs add anybody on the offensive line? Offensive line?
Offensive line.
They can't even sign their best tackle.
Well, they offered him
They-
$130 million guarantee.
Yeah,
or
they
something like
offered
that.
him a 6-year deal, which would have been. I mean,
He's up there with
Yeah.
the highest paid.
yeah, and he was
rejected it.
ranked 17th out of his position.
So
Why did he reject it?
here's why.
I don't know.
I'll
Because,
tell you why.
Because he thinks he's better than that, which right now he's not.
When he was,
It was
when
a
he
five,
on-
and also he was offered a 5-year deal at $18 million a year,
So
and a
here's
6th year at $40 million.
here's why he rejected the deal. He originally started on the right side of the line, which is a big deal when you have a right-handed quarterback because that's that's like literally the front. So where he's moved now he's moved to the left side of the line. So now
side.
he's protecting Patrick Mahomes' blind side. So what his leverage, what he thinks it is he thinks he can actually get more money, even though like like you see those ratings on NBC football when they talk about player rankings per position.
Right.
He's number 23 at his position.
Right.
That's nowhere close to being somebody that can reposition the market, but he only is doing this because he thinks he's protecting Patrick
I mean,
Mahomes'
does
blind
Patrick
side.
Mahomes have a blind side? I mean, he doesn't stand in the pocket.
Not very often, like you're saying.
No.
You
That's
still
what I'm
got-
saying.
And when
you
he
st-
and when he
I
and when
understand.
and when he does, it's a quick out. To
I
Kelsey.
understand. I understand the whole blindside thing, but like, what's the end game here? Like, is he really going to be protecting him?
I
or
mean,
is he
he's
just going to be.
Why would you
is
say
he-
no to a $91 million contract?
Okay, excuse me. There's two reasons he's got leverage. One, because he thought he was good on the right side, and two, because he knows that Patrick Mahomes is getting paid $500 million.
Yeah.
So
I think that's the problem in Kansas City. I think they gave him too much money. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it. But
you're
I'm
talking
just
about
saying-
Patrick Mahomes.
Mahomes, yeah.
Okay.
I think they burned the barn on him, which is fine. You can burn it long term, but I think they gave him too much guaranteed. And I know you guys are going to disagree with me, but Mahomes is legit. Like, he's the heir to the throne. Don't get me wrong, but not
The heir to
the throne.
Alex Smith's throne.
Tom Brady's throne.
It's definitely not the Matt Castle throne.
Jordan Palmer.
Go ahead.
Sorry, that was another.
Are you ordering things?
Is that a drink?
Jordan Palmer, your order is now available at the front counter. Like who are you talking about? Who's Jordan Palmer?
He's Carson Palmer's brother.
Okay, where does he play at?
There's an internet search gone lost. So anyway, Carlos continues.
Wow.
He's allegedly a
The rat.
quarterback
Allegedly.
guru. He's
rabbit
allegedly.
hole.
Look him up.
The rabbit hole.
Carlos, continue. You're making good points.
Oh, I was just saying, I think the Chiefs burned the barn for Mahomes, which is fine, but you don't do it in a, what did he get, a 5-year contract? Or 10-year, I'm sorry.
So,
10-year. He got too much money guaranteed. I think they needed and I mean, I'll beat this to death, but how did Tom Brady win however many Super Bowls he has? 7 Super Bowls now? He took less money to get the team ready.
But to be fair, Patrick Mahomes' contract was structured the exact same way. And the fact it was team friendly in the beginning.
In the beginning,
Yeah.
they only won 1 Super Bowl in the beginning.
Hold on
Still
here.
not done.
I'm not saying they're done, but I'm just saying they're done with the beginning part. I think they're 2 years into it now, into his contract. So I think now they can't really sign
that's
anybody.
2020.
Here's
Yeah,
the
so 2 years
numbers.
This will be the second year.
Okay, so the problem that I have with these numbers in front of me is that I don't totally understand. Okay, so it's broken down into rows,
I mean,
and there's a difference between total cash and base salary. Okay, I think I understand this. Okay, let's walk through this.
We can ask the real Chiefs fan in the audience here. How do you feel about that contract?
At the time, I thought it was like, oh, of course you want to pay
Secure
that guy.
him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
secure
secure
the motherfucker forever. But now looking at it, you're like, maybe he should gave up a little bit more.
It's negotiable.
It is
though.
negotiable.
It is
but do
negotiable.
you think he's going to give anything up?
Well, not because Brittany's spending all his fucking
Oh,
money now.
stop it. So if he continues the footprint of Tom Brady, though, okay, so he's got 10 years and he can negotiate all 10 years. Brady does this year after year after year.
but
Every single year, it's like, oh, do we
That's-
want to really sign Gronk? Okay, fine. I'm going to take a $5 million cut
That's
every
it,
year.
though. Does Mahomes
That's
wanna
what
do
he's
that?
done it. Like
He has done it, but he probably needs to he needs to restructure his
Okay, so
contract some more.
base salary 2022,
Help the team out.
$1.5 million. Okay, that's like less than like rookie salary
Nothing
numbers.
at all, yeah.
But the total cash on that number is again, this is broke down into 2 different rows. So the total cash is $29.45 million.
Against the cap. Cash is against the cap.
But okay, so take that number in comparison to what Deshaun Watson's getting right now.
But that's
The-
all
the-
guaranteed. That's the
Deshaun-
worst
Deshaun
contract in
exactly.
football.
I'm just saying you can't call Mahomes overpaid when Deshaun Watson is.
I'm not saying he's overpaid. I'm just saying he should have taken less money at the beginning to be able
That's
to
saying
sign
he's overpaid.
people. No, you can still sign him for $500 million. Have it structured better, because
Yeah.
I think right now they found out real quick when they played that Super Bowl that they don't have anywhere to protect him.
Okay, so just again going through this base salary numbers. Base salary, Patrick Mahomes, 2022, $1.5 million, and I'm just going to go year by year. Then it increases to $5.5 million. Then it goes to $2.5 million, and it stays there for 3 years. Then it jumps to $10 million, $13 million, jumps to $20.5 million, and back in year 2030, we're up all the way to $27 million.
How
Yeah.
does
20,
that add up? to
20
what he got?
but
It's
this
almost
is,
like it should have been done the opposite way.
Yeah.
But I think this goes back to the point about how these contracts actually work. There's no way that we're going to get to year 2030 where he's going to get a base salary of $27 million plus
I agree.
total
I don't
cash
think
of $50, and that's not going to be renegotiated because he's going to want he's going to be
He's
in
gonna wanna
2030.
win.
He's going to be in the twilight of his career and want somebody to throw the fucking ball to.
I'm pretty sure that he's gonna find out real quick that he can't keep doing this, so he's gonna
Yeah.
restructure quickly.
I hope so.
But the thing is, I think he needs to restructure now, so that they can make a run at the Super Bowl, because I think it's now or never. I think they've been called the new dynasty for long enough, but they've only won one.
Right.
So I think it's now or never.
Which is a dumb name.
What?
yeah, you don't
New
need that.
dynasty.
You
Just
know what I'm saying? Like they've been
Yeah.
called the new dynasty. So
Sorry,
I agree.
Dynasty Nuevo.
Yeah, I agree, but I think he needs to. They need to get it together. There.
Like you for that special Spanish lesson.
By the way, how much longer does the head coach have?
Andy Reid will stay there as long as he
As long as
wants.
his ticker's working.
Well, of course, but yeah, how long does he have? Is the question.
I give him 3 years max.
Yeah, I think so too.
I wouldn't
think
say
so
that.
too. I think so too.
Because he's gonna start. I don't know. He's
I
starting to get
think-
up there in age, and
Here's the thing. If they don't win this year or next year, I think questions are going to start coming in.
it's
It's going to be the Philly Eagles all over again. He won,
yeah.
and then what happens after that?
But he had Donovan McNabb as
But
his
he has
quarterback.
Mahomes now.
Mahomes won one.
Exactly.
So
They
so
only
he
went to
knows
one.
that he can get there with Mahomes. He never got there with McNabb.
Can't get there. Can't get there. With
That's
that
because
offensive
McNabb
line.
was too busy eating Campbell's soup.
Those are great commercials.
Yeah.
Don't hate on Donovan McNabb.
Oh, I don't. I actually like Donovan
I love
McNabb.
But I thought he was a great player. I mean, watching from a Cowboys fan perspective, watching him beat our ass every Sunday, I grew respect for the man. He's a hell of a player.
I enjoy that a lot.
What do you think, Old Top?
David Perron.
Yeah?
Did he price himself out of St. Louis on purpose by tweeting this $7 million annual?
You know, I don't think that's NFL talk, but that's a good point. We can
Yeah.
talk about it another time.
Wide receiver
come back
David
as a guest,
Perron.
Fred.
Thank you, sir. We'll see you next week.
All right, what do we make around here? We
Yeah.
already talked about the Chiefs. What about Andy? Who do you got this year? Who's your team? I know you switch every year. I mean, obviously, Las Vegas Raiders are up there for you.
I still think they're the worst in the
Rams?
division.
Rams?
Team I'm going to be rooting for are going to be the Raiders, but I don't think Devontae Adams is going to have the production that people think. Because again, I think when people transition away from Aaron Rodgers, they're just not the same wide receiver.
Wasn't Devonta Adams David Carr or Derek Carr's teammate in
Was
college? Fresno State, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying was. That was a quick thought that came into my head.
Yeah, I mean, I think Devontae Adams is going to be a solid number one, and Waller might be the second best tight end.
Dude,
Renfro.
Waller-
That's
yeah,
a good
tight end.
receiving core. That's a sneaky
Renfro,
good.
Yeah.
But
Who's the
And
running back?
Josh
Jacobs.
Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs, yeah.
That's a solid. I mean,
They do have a good team.
can they protect Derek Carr though?
in-
I mean, did they have a good O
They have a good O line.
They do.
The
But
problem
in that
is,
division,
that division, they're just going to beat the living piss out of each other the
Yeah.
whole time. And when injuries come into play,
Look,
Waller was injured last year, which fucked him
I mean,
for like half the season.
I
Yeah.
think.
Oh,
I
well,
think
my fantasy
I think
team
those,
knows
I think
that.
those four teams are. One of them is going to win the division, obviously, but I think the other three are playing for a wild card.
Yeah. I don't. The Chiefs though. I don't think they make the playoffs.
The Chiefs.
it could be one of those random down years.
Man,
for 'em.
I think they'll make the playoffs. I just don't know that they'll go deep.
Do you think it'd be a wild card?
I think so. I
Okay.
mean, I think the Chargers are probably going to take it, and that's just me saying.
I don't know.
For now, I don't think Russell Wilson's going to do a whole lot.
I think it's going to be Chargers, Chiefs, Broncos, Raiders. I think that's how the division's going to play out.
Yeah, but who's going to make a play card or like the, wild card out of that?
Probably the Chiefs.
You don't think the Chiefs win the division, huh?
Not this year.
What is Jerry Jeudy though? What is he going to do with an actual quarterback? What is he going to do with
Get
an
a-
actual quarterback?
Get arrested.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, never mind.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
And that's out the window.
Scrody, how are your Cowboys going to do? Cowboys?
Suck. They're going to disappoint me like they always do.
And that was our NFC divisional talk.
all right, so to close this up, we've got.
oh shit.
I'm gonna give. We almost lost a computer.
We did lose a computer.
So let's give
Down
each
goes
one of the
Frazier.
Askcasters
Yeah.
1 minute with final thoughts on just anything you want to talk about, and then we'll put a bow on this, and then we'll have to fast forward to
Yeah.
podcast number 5. Carlos, you're the guest. Go first.
Well, you know what? I'll take my take will be on the Patriots this year. I think we'll make the postseason again. I think adding
The pussy.
Yeah, did you say the pussies?
The puss season.
Pussies. The postseason.
I like the pools.
Very nice.
Very nice.
I think Mac Wilson, Real Peppers,
Mac
and,
Wilson.
Mac Wilson. Yeah, that's the linebacker we added.
Oh, I thought we were.
He's good.
Yeah,
he's
and
good.
I think him, Jabril Peppers, and Devonta Parker will do, good things with Mac Jones. I don't know that we'll win the division, but I think we'll make a strong push for the, postseason.
Yeah.
I think we'll be in the AFC Championship game. That's just my bold prediction. Without the Chiefs being there, I think we got a good shot at it.
Scrode. Your
Um,
thoughts? Or do you want this to go to Schwammy?
No, I just want to give a shout out to Damon Severson. He is the heavily improving defenseman with the New Jersey Devils, and he has 1 year left on his contract. I kind of want to take this moment to talk to Devils Nation. Quit talking shit on this man! He had an incredible year, got so much better as the year went on. Please give this man some love so he stays with us.
You know, you don't have to yell into a microphone. It already makes you louder.
Yeah,
Or do I need to redo that?
You have 21. You have 21
No,
seconds
I'm
left.
keeping that in.
All right, Andy. what
To
you
show
got?
how much of
No,
an
no,
idiot you are.
Schwammy.
I was emotional. I don't do well with emotions.
We can tell.
That's why I see a therapist.
Cue it to Andy.
No, Schwammy will go and I'll clean it up.
Well, I'm a little disheveled after that yelling.
You cap.
Right there.
Oh yeah, your earphones are on.
Yeah, that hurt my head. Thank you for being considerate. You asshole.
I just thought they were part of your space helmet.
Oh man, no, I'm not the one on cloud nine like you are. He just,
I'm coming down.
nah, I can tell. On my final minute, it was nice to have a fourth voice, something different for Carlos. I'm glad you could
Dirty
make our
Carl.
Dirty
Dropping
Carl.
some coach bombs.
Yeah, I'm glad he can make it on our podcast this time. We finally got to record in the 9th Street basement, which was what I thought we were going to do from the very beginning. So I think it's a better layout than someone's apartment, which is not his fault.
213.
Yeah, the two.
213. Studio
Thanks.
213. Studio 213.
187 Homicide Drive.
But no, it was fun to finally do this, all four of us. For
Maybe
once,
maybe one of the sex bots will find me.
maybe.
Yeah,
I
you
hope
wish.
I hope we can get someone from the Bahamas to download our next podcast. And then Andy, if you want to cap it off.
No, I think this was a great podcast. We've got some momentum going because we do have really good content. Carlos is going to hop in. As we get closer to football season, you're going to have to deal ass casters or casters or whatever. You're going to have
Whatever
to
you're
deal
gonna
with
call
an
'em.
insufferable Patriots fan,
Yeah.
which is fine. And I
The
think
worst.
Chiefs suck.
his thoughts. And also, I just want to appreciate, it's been pretty surprising to see the amount of folks and the locations that are downloading the podcast up to this point. Again, a shout out to those people and hope that we can continue to give you content that you want. If you've got a team in any sport, hockey, football, football, we haven't talked baseball. We talked a little bit of basketball. Just let us know at Askcasters, ASSCASTERS, Askcasters at Twitter, and then there's some other way to follow us on the socials. Please do that. We appreciate it. Other than that, let's tie a bow on it, and we'll see you here in a week.
All right, see ya.
See ya.
Wu-Tang.